out of your book, count down to the second coming.
We'll move on. This is an easy one to both of you. Should Israel exist today? Please tell us why or why not.
Well, I don't see why Israel should not exist. I do not agree with Muslims who think of wiping Israel off the map, or to use that sort of language. Jews, Muslims, Christians, each have a right to live in God's world, which is the entire world. We all have a right to life. The Quran insists on the right to life. Of course, in Palestine, there's a dispute as to who should live where, and to whom does the land belong. Jews, armed with the Bible, insist that the land belongs to them. God gave them that land. Palestinians, who have lived in that land for many centuries, insist that if Jews had not been around for so many hundreds of years, perhaps 1800 years, and then they finally come back and say, this is our land because God gave it to our forefathers, this seems to be like a religious claim, and it was only valid for those who believe in that particular book. So it would be very strange if somebody comes to where we live and says, look, I have a religious book that tells me that God gave me the land on which you have built your house. So you get out and give me that land because that's God's promise to me. That would be very strange, and Palestinians obviously see that with the same degree of strangeness, and other Muslims, seeing Palestinians as their brethren, are wondering about the injustice of it all, and wondering why other people are supporting the Israelites in moving into and taking up and occupying more land. And of course it is understandable to me now, after reading Dave's books, because I understand part of what is happening there that I didn't understand before, that people believe that God gave them that land. But if one reads the biblical passages, then how is that different from somebody going into a land, saying, I'm going to kill everybody that lives there, take over the land, and then if we ask them why, they say, well, God gave us this land. How is that different from what is described in the biblical passages?
Okay.
Well, I explained that situation. God gave them the land because of the wickedness of those people. Now, I don't understand that. I don't know all the details, but he even told Abraham, your descendants cannot have this land. I cannot give it to them because the Canaanites, the Amorites, are not so evil now that I would be justified in wiping them out. Now, I quoted verses, partial verses from the Quran, where Allah says, we gave this land to the Jews, to the children of Israel, the chosen people, and so forth. Now, about Palestinians, this was the land of Israel. The Quran, where Allah says, we gave this land to the Jews, to the children of Israel, the chosen people, and so forth. Now, about Palestinians, this was the land of Israel.